That's cool. Yeah, I'm going to a interview with Facebook. It's gonna be similar to this as well.
What was the position?
Just a senior software engineer. So you're just doing this for practice? You're not actually interviewing anywhere?
I actually had a technical interview for Google, but I knew that I'd probably get crushed, so I figured I'd practice.
Yeah. Have you gone through the phone interview yet, or?
Yeah, I've done the phone interview, and they were like, just let us know when you want to do the second part, and they sent me a bunch of resources to study.
Where are you working now?
So I just teach code mainly. I teach web development, and then I have a YouTube channel, which is where I'll post this if you're cool with that. I'll blur it out if you want, but Pramp actually reached out to me, and they were like, they wanted me to record one and then post it, and I told them I have the technical interview for Google. I could probably do a data structures and algorithms interview and get crushed. And they were like, sounds good, do it. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You have my support for that.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to another video. Today's video is sponsored by Pramp. I've done a video with Pramp before, and we're doing another interview, but this time we're doing data structures and algorithms, which just so happens to be my weakest point. And if I ever want to do that second stage of the Google interview, which I'll probably be doing here soon because they reached back out to me and they were like, hey Josh, we want to do this technical interview with you here at Google. And I was like, okay, but I got to practice. So I'm using Pramp as that opportunity to practice this. If you don't know what Pramp is, it is a place where you can go to practice interviews with real people. They have a few different areas of expertise that you can sign up to do interviews for. They got front end, they got back end, they got behavioral, they got data structures and algorithms. They have a whole lot, and they have different skill levels within that, so you can pick if you're a beginner or advanced, and then you get matched with someone so that you go ahead and do it. And most of the people that I've interviewed with so far at Pramp have just been practice interviewing while they're waiting to get to their next interview that has been scheduled like 2 weeks in advance, and so they're doing everything else they can in the meantime to practice that interview. And that was the case for this too. The guy that I was working with, we'll just call him P, he was interviewing for a senior position at Facebook, and you know, he was just like running through these, like, actually if we do this and this and this, then it'll work better. And so I had to ask him a question first. It was, given an array full of characters that are words, figure out how to loop through this array, reverse the words, and you can't use like dot reverse, dot join, and dot split and all that stuff because that's slow and you're not supposed to do that. And then we worked through that together. He got a little stuck, and I was like, what if we try this? And he's like, I think that would work. Actually, it's not working. And then, so we worked through that one together. And then my question was, given a grid, this was a combinatorics question, graph theory. It's basically graph theory. And it was given a grid with a diagonal line drawn through the middle. How many different ways can you get to from the bottom left block? How many different ways can you get to the top right block, but you can't cross the diagonal line going across the cube of the grid? It's the first time I've ever been asked that question. Didn't even know what combinatorial stuff was until he told me. I actually had to ask him how to spell it because I didn't know what I was doing. And so I ended up getting pretty stuck on that. I didn't really know where to start. So he started on that, and then I tried to figure out, like, I tried to work backwards and derive the equation from the example that we were given, and then I could figure out what we were doing from there. It actually, we both got stuck on that problem. He ended up getting stuck doing it his way, and I ended up getting stuck not being able to figure out the equation, the ratios of how much like if you're given a grid of 4, there's 5 ways to get to the top right corner. If you're given a grid of 3, there's 2 ways to get to the top right corner. You get a grid of 2, there's 1 way to get to the top right corner. And so on. So I tried to figure out the pattern there, and I couldn't do it. And then he did it mathematically in the code, and he got stuck. And it was a really good experience. Like, I learned a lot, and like Pramp gives you the answer, so you can look at it eventually. And so we did look at it at the end, and it all made sense. And you'll see all this, but it was really difficult, right? Data structures and algorithms are not my forte. I don't have a computer science degree. I practiced a little bit for a couple interviews, but it was always stuff like bubble sort. Never anything with like graph theory or anything like that. Pretty hard stuff. This is the stuff that Google asked you. This is stuff that Facebook asked you, Microsoft, Amazon, all these huge places for these types of jobs ask you these data structures and algorithms. But it's good for me to practice, and it's good for you guys to see this. This was tough. P, I appreciate you for doing this video. Thanks for saying, okay, I can use this content. And I hope you guys enjoy this video. Be sure to check out Pramp. I'll put the link in the description, and I'll pin it as a comment. So if you use that link, you sign up for Pramp, you get unlimited interviews. Otherwise, you get 6. I don't get a kickback. I don't get any money from that. That's just Pramp being nice to you guys. shout out to all the patrons and the people that watch this channel. If you like this video, you know what to do. Smash the thumb and hit that subscribe button. Click that bell, get notified. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video. One of us just interviews the other one, so I have a question for you, and then you have a question for me. I'm not very good at algorithms and data structures, that's why I'm doing it. So if I crash and burn, now you know, here's a warning.
It's all good, it's all good, that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Alright, so it looks like I'm gonna go first, seems like, because this is not my question.
So I'm the interviewer, and so my question for you is, this is a question. You are given an array of characters, implement a function called reverse words that reverses the order of words in the array in the most efficient manner. Can you see the example?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, yeah.
If we were to reverse this, the first step would be to reverse the whole string. So I'm gonna say fed space CBA. Okay, and then now I'm just gonna reverse the individual words themselves, which makes it DEF ABC, right? Okay, so this first command will essentially reverse the whole word, the whole array, and then what I want to do is I want to individually go through the array and find the individual words. I might get dinged in an interview for using more space than I have to, right? Also, joining and splitting is also, well, if we're trying to do this in the most efficient manner, I don't think that would be the most efficient manner. I can explain. I've had a lot of practice. So like when this is a common pattern in a lot of lead code interviews that I've been doing. So that's where I know it from. Like I've been practicing a lot, and this is just one of the patterns I know. So don't worry about that. That's not natural. I didn't come up with that on the fly. You know what? All right. So here is what I'm gonna do. I don't need this. Yeah. So this is fine. The thing I'm afraid of is they have two spaces here, right? And you have to like cover that use case if it does occur. But I mean, it's a simple matter of like using regex instead of equals for for this line. So let's see. I guess run test should. Oh, perfect. Worked.
Can you just give me like a quick rundown of what's going on?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so let's start here with reverse word. Okay. So the idea behind reverse word is you give it an array, okay, and the start and end indexes of which of what you want to switch. If you give the start index of 0 and end index of whatever this element is, it's just going to reverse the whole word. So essentially, it's similar to the string that reverse function. Is what I'm doing here. Let's say I pass in something like ABC, right? Start index is at 0 and end index is at 2. You essentially will increment the start index and decrement the end index, right? Until they reach each other, right? So it's meeting in the middle. As you're doing that, every iteration, you're going to swap these two things out, right? So you can see here that I'm doing this whole assigning start index to 10 and then essentially assigning 10 to end index. So you have to reverse the whole string, the whole array, right? And then you're going to reverse the individual words within that array. In this first line, the whole array is reversed. Right here, what I'm doing here is I'm finding the boundaries between the words.
So you're looking for empty spaces?
Exactly, I'm looking for empty spaces. And I'm just putting all those indexes into this word boundary.
Oh, so for each index of the spaces, you put that index into there?
Yeah, it actually looks like this. Okay, so this is the word boundary. So 0 is where the word starts, right? 7 is this guy. Okay, this is 8, this is 9, and this is 13, this is 15. Oh wait, are you able to see my screen? Or?
No, but I'm following along with the array.
Okay, yeah, so yeah, you probably didn't see it, but essentially I'm demarcating where the words begin and end. So I have essentially pairs of words, right?
Right.
Now there's a special case where as you can see here, 0, 7, 9, 13, 15. That's five indexes, right? That the reason there's only 5 indexes is because this algorithm that I have here doesn't demarcate the last end index. On line 28, you're just gonna treat the last index of the whole array as the last index for that word.
Okay, so I'll swap. Oh boy.
All right. So the problem that they have for you is you're testing a new driverless car that is located on the bottom left corner of an n-by-n grid. Okay, the car is supposed to get to the top, which is the northeast top right corner of the grid. Given n the size of the grid's axis, write a function num of paths to dest that returns the number of possible paths the driverless car can take. All right, and if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see, for convenience, let's represent every square in the grid as a pair. The first coordinate in the pair denotes the east to west axis, and the second coordinate denotes the south to north axis.
All right, well, I basically have no idea what to do, but I can maybe pseudocode it out a little bit.
Okay.
So if I give this a number of like 4, then it should give me 5. But even then, I need to see how that would look on this map. So
it's just saying that there are 5 possible ways for you to get to your destination. It might include going up all the way to the topmost left, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then going all the way to the right? Or you could do a zigzag pattern to get to your destination. Yeah, it's a hard one.
Yeah.
It sounds like, whoa, figuring this out.
I imagine, we would do something with the pair of numbers I and j compared to the destination of 4, 4, no matter what. And then we'd have to like...
It's called a combinatorics. Yeah, I will admit this is quite hard.
Where would I start?
All right, so the way I would solve something like this is... yeah, this is quite difficult. So... Oh man. Okay. So basically, the rule that you have to keep in mind in doing this is you can't go below the the equator, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing that you have to be worried about.
So the bounds. So I should probably note the bounds are like 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, those are the bounds. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. Or, like they said, I is greater than or equal to j, right?
I wonder if there's a pattern. I wonder if there's like an exponential pattern. That's what I would look for. I know without like calculating it through code. So if you put in 4,
that's a great. I would look at that too.
If it's the grid size of 4 and there's 5 different, what does the grid size of 2 look like? What does the grid size of 3 like? Is there some sort of logarithmic expansion there?
So in a 2x2 grid, there's only one way to get there. In a 3x3 grid, how many ways would there be?
I guess 2.
Yeah, there would be only 2, right?
But then if we go to a 4, there's a 5. There's 5 ways. It just looks like exponential, almost.
And 4 is 5. And then what is 5?
That's the question. So would this be 8? I'm not sure.
So we have a 5x5 grid here. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But the question is how do we extract the equation from it? Can I attempt to tackle it?
Yeah, for sure. Sorry that
Okay.
I have no idea.
Hey, no, it's it's fine. I've seen a problem like this recently, so it's fresh on my mind. So
I knew this was going to be rough. Like I was probably going to get crushed. And like the only way that I would know how to attempt to do this would be just mathematically and then work backwards. Because I'm pretty good at finding patterns, and then I could extract, the ratio between them. There has to be one. I just don't have enough data when we're starting from 1 and 2. Oh, okay. Do you have the answer? What was the actual answer on your answer tab?
Oh yeah. So the answer is, well, I'll paste it.